Hi, this is Leslie with Providence Pathway. This is our third video in a series where we're talking about networking, and really we're getting to the heart of reframing networking. In video one, not only did we talk about the reframing aspect, but we also renamed networking, and we said the new name is really building relationships or relationship building, either way. Video two, we really addressed and looked at three common fears around networking and what holds people back from taking a step forward with networking. So we kind of did some myth busting. And in this third video, we are going to address three ways that you can have kind of a lower stress way to approach building relationships. So the kind of how do I do it? How do I go about it? How do I even get started with it? So I didn't say low stress because I realize if you have stressful, concerning feelings about building relationships with others, or if you've had some negative associations with it in the past, you may still feel some stress. So I want to acknowledge that may still be there. But these are hopefully lower stress ways because you're already going to have a connecting point. So, three different ways to go about building relationships. So, to help build your career, to grow your career to where you want to be. So, number one, people who are already doing the work that you find fascinating, that you know. So, these are people that you already know through your current work, through past work experiences, could be through your community, through your neighborhood. There could be lots of ways that you just know people who are doing work that you find interesting. Reach out to them. You've already got something in common. You already know each other. So it would be very natural to say, hey, Bob, I'm really interested in learning more about your work that you do with X, Y, and Z. And Bob's probably going to say, sure, let's set aside some time to talk. So, number one, connecting with people that you already know who are doing work that you find interesting. Option number two, professional organizations. We all belong to them, but how many of us actually leverage those professional organizations? Sure, we may get a newsletter periodically, we may actually go to an event every now and then, but how often are you really connecting with people within those professional organizations to say, hey, you have a strength in this area, and I'd really like to learn more about how you gained that strength, how you grew that specific competency area. And because you've already got this natural connection through the organization, it makes it feel a little safer. So that's your second option. So, first option, people you know who are already doing work that you find fascinating. Option number two is leveraging those professional organizations and connecting with people to understand how they've built the skills and competencies that they have. Your third lower stress option for connecting with people is really leveraging the folks that you already know again, but in a different way. So think about, who do you know, either friends, family, coworkers, who have networks that include people who are doing work that you find fascinating. So even today, I had a friend that I knew from college, and we've connected here and there over time. He reached out to me and he said, hey, I finished that second degree that I was working on. I'm really interested in transitioning into this specific field that I've been studying for. I've got some background experience, but I really want to go deeper in this area. And immediately I thought of two people that I can connect him with. Now, I don't know if they're going to be perfect fits. I don't know if anything will come of those relationships, but me making the offer to connect the two of them could lead to something really helpful and really beneficial, potentially for both of them, not just for my friend from college. So, as the connector, as the bridger, it's very easy for me to make that connection and say, hey, I think it might be helpful for both of you to get to know each other better, to expand your own networks. But if I'm on the receiving end of that, and I say, hey, could you introduce me to such and such? Almost all the time, people say yes, of course, especially if they already have a good relationship with a person. Now, if their relationship isn't as close, they might not feel as comfortable being that bridge between the two of you. But if they've already got a solid relationship, then they probably are going to say yes. So reach out, ask. It never hurts to ask. If you don't ask, you'll never know and you'll never have that connection. But if you ask, the worst they can do is say, I don't really feel comfortable with that. But the best case scenario is they connect you and something wonderful emerges from that. So again, today our focus was around 3 lower stress ways to build your relationships to help you grow and expand in your career. So way number 1 is really leveraging the people that you already know who are doing that work that you find interesting. Reach out to them, set up some time to chat with them. Option number 2 is really leveraging those professional relationships, those professional organizations who have hundreds of members, maybe even thousands of members, that you can really tap into and say, I'd like to learn your area of expertise, or I'd like to learn from your journey that you've been on. And really just understanding more about what you went through, what your experience was like, and how maybe I can take some information from that and apply it to my own experience. And option number 3, asking for an introduction. Ask a friend or a coworker to introduce you to someone. Hey, do you have anyone in your network who knows X, Y, or Z? Would you be willing to connect me with them? Again, they could say no, but best case, they say yes. And it helps you, and it might even help their other connection too. I hope you found some benefit in these 3 lower stress ways to build relationships. I would love to hear in the comments below what area you think you can use to build your own relationships, which one you feel is going to be the lower stress way for you to grow in your career. I look forward to chatting with you again next week. Take care.